Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group and YouAreTheBroker.com, helping you to build a highly effective and highly profitable broker business. We are fixing to go back onto the board to further underscore, clarify some things from some of your many great, awesome emails. I have actually outsmarted the board because I went ahead of time and drew up a diagram. That's what a genius I am. Anyways, I want to answer some quick questions. I was gone all last week, so these questions are a little bit older, but they were great. I had them out because I want to talk about some key points in here that kind of, again, whenever I get an email, I want to share it because typically it will also represent other emails. So I kind of look for those common themes. So this is from someone I'm working with right now. Great dude, love him. Great email, Joel. I really appreciate all the detail you go into, and it's all extremely helpful. I like asking a lot of detailed questions, so it's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm trying to be the wiser man and pick your brain and learn all the things I either don't know or haven't experienced. Again, when I'm working one-on-one with you, I personally am going to respond to those emails. And for those I'm working with, I respond pretty quick, unless I'm traveling or if there's some interruption. But regardless, we're in constant contact. Let's see, he continues. Also, after I start making some real money, we'll get together on your broker business, no doubt. By the way, how the hell are you making 50% on your money? That's awesome, man. I'd love to know what you're invested in. Laugh out loud. My returns are good, but not 50%. Many of you saw those where I shared images, screen capture images of some of my accounts that were making 50.33%. Put that video out a week or two ago before I traveled out of town. Great question. This guy's in the market. He's doing well. My returns are good, honestly, because I'm heavy tech. I mean, it is what it is. You got Tesla split, Apple split. I mean, boom, right there. You just get richer and richer. Buy more and more. Amazon, I own a ton of Amazon. Back in the day, people thought I was crazy when I was buying Amazon at $600 and $700 and $800. I mean, I'm still buying it all the way through. I mean, it was up $3,300, $3,500, something like that. I didn't follow it too much the last couple of days because I've been traveling, but you get the idea. I mean, tech has been absolutely phenomenal, but we could definitely talk more about that as we move forward working together. Some more questions. I want to address this one. This is important. It's a great email. I'm going to just paraphrase some of it here, but long story short, this client provider, we're in the process. I'm working with her and her husband. We're working on diversifying and expanding. They did provide some limited wheelchair transportation before. Now we're going all in on transportation, and we're going to go in on stretcher. She has a great email here, but rather than me going to wasting time reading the whole thing, her question is regarding stretchers and how is it that some people are able to bill at such a higher rate for stretchers. Something I want you to fundamentally understand, and this is where, for those of you who are in a state where they do not allow NEMT providers to perform stretcher transportations, it is painfully unfortunate. And here's why. A lot of these HMOs and large managed care organizations, they will actually bill Medicare for stretcher work. So that's under the guise that they're going to be doing ALS or BLS. They will, because Medicare will only pay for ALS or BLS transportation. Bottom line, Medicare is starting to. Now, I want to say this very loosely. Medicare is starting to make some changes in policies, but overall, has been a long-standing policy. Again, I'll preface it. They are starting to change a little bit. There are some occasions and isolated examples of where Medicare will pay for NEMT. I suspect that in the future, more and more NEMT will be reimbursed by Medicare, which is phenomenal. It's going to be a saving for Medicare, more opportunity for us, the NEMT providers. But specifically with stretchers, the reason why stretchers is such a moneymaker is because so many of these large HMOs, MCOs, ACAs, they're going to bill Medicare. And rather than source that work to an ALS or BLS work, they source it to NEMT. Which means you could charge a higher premium, you're going to make more money, and the HMO, they're saving money. So they're billing at a higher rate. They're paying you a very good rate. They're saving the margin. They actually make money on the transportation process. Call it Russian collusion. Call it what you will. It doesn't matter. All I care about is that my client providers are actually making money on it. So it's a great deal. And, you know, there's some key states that they're doing this phenomenally well. There's New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia, Delaware, that whole East Coast, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia. There's, for some reason, I really cannot explain it. If someone knows, let me know. That whole East Coast pocket there, all those states, this pattern is phenomenally huge, where the HMOs are billing at such a higher rate for the stretchers, and they're feeding the work to the NEMT providers instead of ALS or BLS. And don't get me wrong, I see it in other places too. That's why you got to be very careful, because many providers will contact us and they'll say, hey, how do I bill Medicare? You don't. Now, in the example that I just discussed, are you the NEMT provider? Are you personally billing Medicare? No. The HMO is billing Medicare. In turn, you have the relationship with the HMO, and you're billing them and they pay you. And like I said, the HMO is making money on the deal. And this is a hot and heavy practice, especially when it comes to stretcher work. Why? Because it's a long-standing policy that Medicare is going to reimburse for stretcher work. Not so much wheelchair, but heavy stretcher work. So it's been a great opportunity. So listen, let's go ahead, let's jump on board and go over to the board, where I promise you, if you haven't unsubscribed already, many of you are going to unsubscribe, cancel, delete the fat man. You're done. Let's roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I have outsmarted the board by coming in ahead of time, drawing my diagram on the board. Many of you know this. Many of you have seen it if you've watched the previous videos. And thank you all for your emails. Many of you have sent great emails regarding this strategy. Many of you are going to deploy this, which is phenomenal. And there's much more to learn, but this is the foundational principles you want to work to deploy. Now, in response to many emails, there's some key things, fundamental principles I need to underscore in this video. Your business is, plural, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want, I don't care. Your business is. All of this is your intake. All of this is your customers. All of this is your cash flow coming in, profitable business. Profitable money that you're working hard to cultivate, to build. This is your management company. No longer do you draw a direct salary, SDE, seller discretionary earnings, all the perks and benefits from your direct business. Now you do it through your management company, and your management company has relationships with each of your core businesses. You have your own personal bank, your own capital investment company, your own financial institution, whatever you want to call it. And when one of these businesses needs funds, it dips into your own personal bank at whatever interest rate you want. And you make sure you pay it back, so you keep more of the money into your business. You draw your salary, your seller discretionary earnings, your IRA, your 401ks, all that stuff out of your personal management company. You fund your honey pot. Your honey pot stays in the company. You don't even own this. You own your IRA, your 401k, your personal accounts, whatever. But the company, the management, the low-risk company owns the honey pot. Now here's what's absolutely critical. This is where many of you, this is the line of demarcation where many of you are going to unsubscribe, start to hate Joel Davis more than you already do. So be it. Haters make the world go round. This is the most important thing right here. You've got to have this. You've got to hustle. You've got to solicit. You've got to work hard. You got to get your customers, find your customers, build your business, build the cash flow. If you don't have this, none of this works. If you don't make enough money, if you don't make enough money, none of this works. But if you do this properly, and you deploy these strategies and this honeypot, the most important thing through all of this, I mean, this is fundamental, this is critical. If you don't have this, there's none of this, none. But if we have strong earnings, strong positive cash flow, it's profitable, and we deploy this type of strategy, and we fund our honeypot, and we leverage what's the most important thing? Time. And we leverage time. This honeypot is the most important thing, because one day this honeypot will make more money than this. I'm going to call this the danger zone. It's absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical. But this danger zone is a double-edged sword, and I'm going to explain why. Without this, there's nothing. When you have this and it's strong, and you deploy this type of strategy, and you fund this honeypot, one day this honeypot is going to be so big that it funds anything and everything you want. This honeypot, if you leverage time, this honeypot will make more money than all of this combined, if you do it properly. And remember, all of this is volatile. Why? This can get sued, this can get sued, this can get sued. This is high risk. So we have to deploy these high-risk entities, these high-risk businesses that are vulnerable of lawsuits, accidents, criminality, people trying to steal from you, employees this, employees that, all that kind of good stuff. Everything associated with any type of a business. This is painfully low risk, painfully low risk. And you leverage time. Time is your best friend. Now here's what happens. This is critical. This makes you a chaser. Because every single day, every single way, you got to chase. You got to chase the customer. You got to chase employees. You got to solicit. You got to work hard. If you're a medical transportation business, you got to deal with brokers and all that kind of good stuff. You're a chaser. I'm going to spell it out. You are a chaser. Now, when you got a fat honeypot and you don't have to rely on chasing, at that point in time, anything here is just icing on the cake. All it's doing is helping you to further fund your honeypot. Chaser, creator. Chaser, creator. When you deploy this strategy and the honeypot is now able to fund everything, you're free. You're rich. And what can you do when you're rich? Anything you want. You're a creator now. Here, you're a chaser. Here, you're a creator. So you ask yourself, well, what's wrong with being a chaser? I used to be a chaser. When I was starting my first business, a medical transportation business, I was driving it. Many of you who've watched my videos, I told you, I knew that the longer I drive, the more I lose. Bottom line. Bottom line. Now, did I know any of this? No. No. The wisdom of this and everything else on top of this I learned came from mentors. I had a very good accountant who helped. Now, look, I've told you in previous videos, if you think all accountants are the same, you're crazy. You think all attorneys are the same, you're crazy. Absolutely not. If you don't have an accountant that can co-sign this, fire the accountant. Worthless. Worthless. Joel, I can't believe you'd say that. Worthless. Not worth their salt. Not worth their money. Most accountants, if they tell you, oh, just do this, it's okay, just get some more insurance, fire them. Fire them. You either drive, your accountant, you drive the train and your accountant either co-signs or he doesn't. If he doesn't co-sign it, fire him. Joel, I can't believe you'd say that. Said it. Because your goal is to be a creator, not a chaser. Well, Joel, you used to be a chaser. I did. I used to be a chaser. And the whole goal was to become a creator. Now, there's some people out there, all they do is chase. Here's the problem with chasing. You get tired. Chasing's hard work. And we ain't getting any younger. How long you want to chase for? Chasing? You get tired. You get tired of chasing. And there's a lot of chasers. The vast majority of people out there, they're chasers. That's why I say I don't need many, only a few, because only a few people are actually going to go through this entire thing. It's more administrative initially to get going. You got to work harder, this and that. But long term, you become a creator and not a chaser. When you're a chaser, you get tired and you get older. We've all heard the saying that misery likes company. Chasers like company. Now listen, I've told you in previous videos, there's many people who watch every single one of my videos. There's some people who watch every single one of the videos from start to end, and they're a freebie expert. And there's nothing wrong with that. The world needs the fringes, the freebie experts, the chasers. The world wants them, the world needs. And chasers, just like misery wants company, chasers want chasers. There's so much content online, so much free crap. Many of you may have watched the previous video I put out recently where one of my client providers unsuspectingly went with a consultant, totally led them astray, costly strategy, etc. And now we're working to clear all that up. We're working to clean all that up. It's a process, but at least now we have a direct strategy. The problem is there's so much free crap out there. Chasers will say, hey, you don't need to listen to the fat man. You don't need to listen to anybody else. You could do all this yourself. Just come be a chaser. Come be a chaser. Chasers like chasers. Come be a chaser with us. You don't need the fat man. You don't need anything. You could do it yourself. And it's true. That chaser who's sitting behind that computer, watching these videos, sending out the emails, feeding all the free crap online, that chaser is actually 100% correct. You do not need me if you want to be a chaser. In fact, I'll go so far as to tell you this. If you want to be a chaser, you don't even need the chaser. This is how easy it is. If you want to be a chaser in the non-emergency medical transportation business, all you have to do is this. Get a vehicle, get insurance, sign up with the broker. Done. You can be a chaser. That's it. That's all you have to do. You don't even need the chaser who's sitting behind the computer screen, sipping on the haterade, hating on all this, hating on the fat man. You don't even need the chaser, let alone you don't need me. I'm just being honest with you. That chaser is going to say, hey, you can figure it out on your own. I'm telling you, you don't even need him. Go get a vehicle, get insurance, sign up with the broker. Because of Obamacare, nowadays, 75 to 80% of all Medicaid flows through a broker. Go sign up with a broker, and you will, I promise you, you will forever be a chaser. You will forever be in this danger zone. The reason why it's like a danger zone is chasers want more chasers. And it's like when you're caught up in the weeds. When you're snaggled and you're caught up and you're entangled in the weeds, you can't even see freedom. And all the while you got chasers telling you, oh, you don't need help. You don't need help. Just be a chaser. You don't need to listen to the fat man. You don't need to pay for anything else. You don't need, chasers have no comprehension or value of time. Now, it just so happens that over the years I've spent a lot of money to listen to learn from, to speak with, to mastermind with, if you will. I hate that term, but literally brainstorming, sharing ideas with very wealthy people who've taught me a lot, and that's phenomenal. And the critical thing that a chaser doesn't understand is time. Don't spend money. There's chasers out there, they'll tell you, hey, you don't even need to don't get Joel's ebook. Why? Don't spend $97.95 for that. You can do it on your own. There's research online. How much time, how much value can you learn from somebody else who's already done it? Do you want to learn from a chaser, or do you want to learn from somebody who's gone through all of this and will never even need to be a chaser again, ever? Joel, you're so cocky. Joel, how could you say that? Joel, you're belittling chasers. No, I'm not. I used to be a chaser.
But I knew that as I drive, the more I drive, I'm a chaser. And the more I personally drive, the more I lose. I'm not maximizing my skill set and talents. I cannot build when I drive. Bottom line, I cannot build when I drive. A chaser will say, hey, why would you listen to a fat man if the fat man doesn't even own his own non-emergency medical transportation business? Exactly. I don't own my own NEMT business anymore because I'm done chasing. What am I going to be, an 85-year-old transporting 85-year-old people to? That's not part of the plan. This is the plan. Why? Not because I'm a brilliant genius and I knew all this and thought it up. No, because I had mentors who taught me. My accountant may have been the most high-priced guy, but guess what? Worth every penny. Some of my other mentors, some I paid for, some I didn't. Guess what? Worth every single penny. Hey, chaser, come chase with us. You ain't got to listen to them. You ain't got to listen to the fat man. Come chase with us. You can figure this out on your own, chaser. You're going to save money, chaser. Chaser, don't worry about this. Just keep chasing. Work harder. Work harder, chaser. Work hard. I know you're going to get tired, chaser. Just push more. Work harder, chaser. You don't need all this. Some chasers will tell you, hey, you ain't gotta do all this. You ain't gotta listen to the fat man. If you listen to the fat man, you gotta hear all his politics. That's a chaser mentality. A chaser can't even put together a three-piece puzzle. Politics affect policy, which affects your money. I'll say it again. Politics affects policy, which directly affects your money. Bottom line, if you want to maximize your salaries, your IRAs, your 401ks, and your investments through your honeypot, do you not want the best markets possible? I've had people who send us email, you and your Republican politics, and that's where you're wrong. This is where all of you are going to leave. You're going to cancel. You're going to unsubscribe because I know that I've already upset half the people. Now I'm going to upset all of you when I say this. For how long, for how many years have I said I am a biblical capitalist? You don't hear me say Republicans. Republicans are sellouts. Democrats, absolute loon tunes. God forbid, they're off the tracks. But Republicans, sellouts, Democrats, loon tunes, I don't care about any of that nonsense. I am a biblical capitalist. Everything I do has to be first filtered through my biblical beliefs, second through the markets. That's why when you hear me say, thank you, Mr. Businessman in Office, because we all know the markets are raging. Do you realize last week it was what it hit the Dow hit up to 29,000 again. And then someone had the smart aleck email me, because they always do. When the market dips and it contracts, someone sends me an email. Oh, how's your market now? Exactly. We want it to go up, make the money, so that when it does have a sell-off, when it does contract, that's when you buy. It's simple 101. But the problem is, what you don't know hurts you. What you don't know, you simply don't know. And chasers want you to chase. Chasers want company. Chasers are going to tell you, do it yourself. Chasers are going to tell you, hey, don't spend the money. You want free. Go get free. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm telling you, if all you want is free, you don't need me. I'm telling you that. So people who say, oh, don't listen to the fat man. Don't listen to Joel. All he's trying to do is sell you something. I am absolutely, unconditionally, go through any checklist, any metric, any measurement you want. I am the absolute worst online salesman. There is a reason why my comments are all turned off on our videos, because we are not wasting time. My team and I, my staff, they are already swamped as it is. We are not responding to nonsense. We are not responding to drive-by, chaser, freebie comments. No one has time for that. If someone's serious, they'll email us. You tell me what type of online influencer, man, I hate that term. You tell me what type of influencer is going to say, hey, Republicans, you're sellouts, Democrats, you're loon tunes. No one's going to do that. Someone who's trying to sell online, they're going to try to sell you everything. No. I don't need many, only a few. That's why those of you who I do work with, our goal is to eliminate, to to push forward out of the danger zone so you can transition away from being a chaser. Am I trying to belittle a chaser? No. There's someone out there right now who's retired, doesn't want all the headaches and heartaches of this. They're trying to make extra money. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, unconditionally, love it, respect it. 100%. Are they ever going to be a creator? No. But they're happy, and there's nothing wrong with that. It all comes down to self-awareness. That's key, self-awareness. So, as you watch this, with your self-awareness, you got to say to yourself, hey, do I want to be a chaser or do I want to be a creator? And if you want to be a chaser, there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're a chaser and you just simply don't know how to become a creator, and therefore you're going to hate and you're going to sip on that malt liquor, they call it haterade, and you're going to try to befriend and pull in more chasers, well, you're doing no one a service. It's a straight disservice, by all means. So there's nothing wrong with being a chaser. I was a chaser, but the goal was to put yourself in a position where now your money and your honeypot is so much bigger that affords you the opportunity that you chase by choice. That you chase by choice. There's a big difference. If I'm a chaser, I'm relying on Logistic Care. Logistic Care loses a contract, MTM gets it, everything just shook up. A chaser is reactionary. I'll say that again. A chaser is reactionary. You react to everything in the market. Everything within your business. Let's say it was transportation, home care, broker, courier, whatever. So many people come with different businesses. That's awesome. But if something changes within your industry, you got to react. And you get tired. We're getting older. Ain't none of us getting younger. How much longer you want to play this game of reacting? I got to react. As a creator, there's an interruption in our flow. There's an interruption with one of our businesses. We deal with it. We deal with it. Who cares? Because we're not dependent. A creator is never dependent. A chaser relies on, is dependent. If there is change within that industry, they have got to react now. Because if they don't, they may lose their very existence in terms of business. What happens when you get tired? What happens when you can't react as fast? What happens when you just get tired of the game itself? Here, as a creator, you chase by choice. You chase by choice. A creator chases by choice. Here, a chaser, when he's caught in the weeds, he or she chases out of necessity. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you how to be a chaser. If you're in the medical transportation, here's all you got to do. Go get a vehicle, get some insurance, sign up with a broker. That's all you got to do. Go forth and chase. If you want to be a creator, I encourage you, deploy these strategies. If we're working with you one-on-one, trust me, there's more. There's more tactics and strategies we want to deploy to ensure that we build and fund this honeypot. Now, there's some people who we work with, and they'll say, hey, I'm a chaser. They won't say it like that, but that's essentially what they are. Hey, I'm a chaser, but I want to be a creator. And when we start working with them, we realize, man, you're a chaser, you want to be a creator, but here's the problem. You got a chaser mentality. Whether it's your logos, your vehicles, your business structure, everything. You look like a chaser. You walk like a chaser. You think like a chaser. You ain't making much money, so your funds look like a chaser. And you retain our services, and you still want to be a chaser. It's insane. Some people will come to us as a chaser. They want to be a creator. We give them advice how to stop being a chaser, and their chaser mentality, they're still stuck in the weeds. And it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. Some people eventually, we got to write them off. It is what it is. Because some people are so caught in the weeds. They are so entangled in the weeds. They can't see out. They can't see daylight. They can never become a creator because, no, this is what I want. This is how I want my business to look. But you ain't even making money. But this is how it is. This is how I want to look. This is how I want to do. This is how I want to operate. One question. What's your bank account look like? Chaser. So if you do retain our services, because so many of you send us awesome emails. I love it. So many of you send us hater emails. Don't even see them. Don't even care. Whatevs. But we are busy. We are swamped. And that's a good thing. God has blessed us. It's awesome. And we love working and helping with you. But here's my point. If you retain our services, I encourage you, please understand. We have to burn our bridges from being a chaser. It's just like the Vikings. When they went and attacked a new land, they burned the boats. They burned the boats because we ain't going back unless we're victorious. If we're victorious, we'll build new ones. If you see through the weeds and you want to be a creator, you got to leave the chaser mentality behind. And again, it's hard. The internet it's so saturated, so overflowing with chasers and chaser mentality. You don't need anybody. You could do it yourself. Come be a chaser. Let's sip on the haterade together. No. Save your money. Don't worry about time. Shh. Time is a word you don't need to discuss. Come chase with us. The hunting is good. No, don't ask too many questions. All you have to do is just take what the brokers give you. Yes, Massa Logisticare. Yes, Massa MTM. Yes, Massa Southeast Trans and all of your collusion, Russian collusion together. Whatever you take, whatever you give, we're going to take. If that's all you need, that's all you want, remain a chaser. You don't need me. And I'm telling you, you don't even need the chasers themselves. Just go get a vehicle, get insurance, sign up with the broker. Now listen, I'm realistic. I'm practical. I know so many of you unsubscribed a long time ago. I know many of you watching this, and you are professional chasers, and you watch all the free stuff. And then some of you chasers, you watch all of my videos, and then you hate. Why are you still watching? If you hate it so much, why watch? I'm just saying, I know my time is painfully valuable. Like, I will not do many things because my time is too valuable. The last thing I'm going to do is waste my time watching, listening, putting into my mind something I can't stand. No one has time for that. Unless you're a chaser. Unless you're a chaser sipping on the haterade. But that being said, if you're still watching to the very end of this, and I know it's long, I encourage you, for you, someone who's watching, you're getting tired. You're tired. You're thinking long term. You ain't getting no younger. It's time for change. What's your bank account look like? What's your bank account? You want to keep chasing? You got security? Does your family got security? You want to keep chasing? Or do you want to be a creator and chase on your dime, on your time, in your way? You want to be a creator, not a chaser? You know what to do. And when you do it, I'll see you at the top.